It was a cold Monday afternoon in downtown Chicago. The kind of day when the wind bites through jackets and coffee goes cold before the first sip. Outside a corporate high-rise, 52-year-old security guard Carl Dawson stood at his usual post, quiet, observant, and mostly invisible to the hundreds of people who passed him daily. Most never even looked him in the eye. But that day, one pair of eyes did. A boy, maybe 9 or 10, thin, dirty, and shivering in a worn-out hoodie, lingered near the lobby's revolving door. Carl noticed him hovering just beyond the glass, watching commuters hustle past with bags of food, hot drinks, and warm coats. When the boy's stomach let out an audible growl, Carl heard it over the traffic noise. He watched as the kid's eyes followed a businessman unwrapping a burrito. That was all Carl needed. Carl walked over slowly, pulling out a small container from his backpack, a simple lunch of leftover chicken, rice, and an apple. It wasn't much. Just what he'd packed that morning like he had every day for 16 years on the job. But he held it out without hesitation. "You hungry, buddy?" Carl asked gently. The boy nodded, eyes wide, too shy to speak. He took the container with trembling hands, murmuring a soft, "thank you," and sat cross-legged on the stone ledge nearby to eat. Carl didn't press him with questions. He didn't ask where his parents were or why he was alone. He just stood watch, like always, but this time, over someone who truly needed it. The next morning, Carl showed up at work like usual, only this time, everything was different. A van from a local news station was parked outside. A couple of cameramen were adjusting tripods. A woman in a navy coat holding a microphone approached Carl before he could even swipe in. "Are you Mr. Dawson?" she asked. Carl blinked. Yes." The reporter's smile widened. "We'd like to talk to you about what you did yesterday. The story's going viral." "Viral?" he echoed, confused. "What story?" She turned her tablet to show him a video, taken from across the street. Someone had recorded the entire moment. Carl sharing his lunch with the boy, placing a hand gently on the kid's shoulder, making sure he ate. The video had over 2 million views. Comments poured in praising the heroic guard who reminded the world what humanity looks like. Still stunned, Carl stammered, "I didn't do anything special." The reporter laughed kindly. "That's exactly why people love you." The interviews didn't stop that day. Neither did the letters, the emails, or the donations. Strangers began dropping off food at Carl's building, for the boy, if he returned. Others brought coats, books, gift cards. People from all over the city, and then the country, offered support. But the most surprising moment came 3 days later, when a woman in a social worker's uniform showed up with a familiar small figure by her side. It was the boy. His name was Tyler. He'd run away from a foster home after being bullied, living on the streets for 4 days with nothing but a backpack and a granola bar. He'd seen Carl's uniform and thought he looked safe. "He said you were the first adult in days who treated him like he mattered," the woman said. Carl knelt down beside the boy, who looked up at him with a shy smile. "You do matter, kid," Carl whispered, his voice thick. Weeks later, something incredible happened. Inspired by Carl's story, a local charity partnered with the city to launch the Dawson Project, an initiative to provide meals and mentorship to homeless and runaway youth. Carl, though hesitant at first, agreed to be a part of it. "I'm just a security guard," he'd said. "No," the program director replied. "You're the reason this started." Carl became a mentor to dozens of kids like Tyler, someone who knew how to listen, who saw the invisible, who gave without needing to be asked. He never craved attention, but he embraced his new purpose with quiet strength. In the end, Carl's story wasn't about fame. It was about the ripple effect of one act of kindness. About how the smallest gesture, a shared lunch, could echo across a city, a country, a world. Because sometimes, it only takes one moment to remind people of what we're all capable of, compassion without condition. Giving without expecting. Seeing someone who feels unseen. And sometimes, the real heroes are the ones who think they've done nothing at all. Because to a hungry child, a warm meal is everything. And to the world, a humble man named Carl reminded us that kindness still matters.